talk to me about the cultural change, because you said when you were at Xbox, you hired 2,000 people in 18 months, didn't really have a culture, and all of a sudden now you're a leader going. So how did you change it?
Well, to me, culture isn't something you put up on the wall.
Right.
It's not a series of slogans. Culture is the way leaders act every day. And leaders have to act consistently every day. Now, we had a leadership team that was exceptionally smart, exceptionally talented, and exceptionally dysfunctional. and, and so, when the leadership team is acting erratically culturally, that's the cue the team takes. And the cue the team takes is, hey, culture is not important. I can act the way I want. Whatever's natural happens, and we'll see what comes from that.
Yeah.
And what articulating our principles enabled us to do is enabled us to hold each other accountable and say, hey, if those are our principles, this is the way we have to act. And people start to see the way leaders act. And people are amazingly intuitive about this. I find, if people join a new organization, in 2 or 3 weeks, they got the culture figured out. It just doesn't take them very long. And likewise, if they start to see leaders act in a different way, they figure it out really quickly. Best example to me goes back to Microsoft. But so Steve Ballmer, who was my manager for 6 or 7 years at Microsoft, was a really good leader. But when he left Microsoft, the culture had gotten into a place where it needed to change. And neither right nor wrong, but just needed to change. And this is a company that has 105,000 employees at the time or something like that. And Satya Nadella comes in, and in the span of about 6 to 9 months, completely changes the culture of the company. And you do that by the way he acted, the things he said, and the actions he took, and the actions his leadership team took. And they literally changed the culture of the company. And the performance has been spectacular.
Yeah.
And
I mean, talk about.
Those two things are directly connected. And his whole thing was about a positive mindset. He in fact, he had people, if you've ever read the book Mindset, he had people read the book and try to understand how you build positive mindset, and that changed the place. And Steve and Satya are both great leaders, but different, and the culture changed with it. That to me is just the perfect example of why culture is so important.